Books are a lifeline for many of us, I'm sure. If you are watching this video, then you are one among us that loves to read and loves to write. Over the last few years, online publishing has brought about hundreds of thousands of books. But how many have you read, or how many of these stories and their authors do you remember? Unfortunately, most are terribly mediocre. If you are here watching this video, then it goes to show that you are someone who is serious about wanting to write a book and someone who wants to understand how to take your skill to the next level. As a writer and content curator, I have found 5 major hurdles that pull back writers from penning that high quality bestseller. I want you to listen to these very, very carefully and begin working on overcoming them so we get to read not a mediocre but a very high quality book of yours soon. I remember when I had started writing my book, the first question I asked myself was, will people read it? The more I asked myself this question, the more encouraged I felt to go back to my manuscript and read it over and over and over again from different perspectives. This exercise helped me edit my writing at a micro level. The next step was to create a small team that I trusted in and who would give me critical feedback. Their constructive feedback helped me better what I had written and chisel it out, making it publication ready. At times, the criticism and feedback you receive can be overwhelming to the extent where you begin to doubt your own ability to write. Don't feel sympathetic at this stage. Leave your manuscript alone for a while and get it off your head temporarily for a few hours or maybe a day. Then return and look at it with a fresh perspective. Your editing will get sharper. And remember, not all criticism may work for you. I was recently talking to an acquaintance who declared he was writing a book and was using an online tool that helped him write. Inquisitive about this, I asked him if it was one of those grammar check tools. To my utter horror, he said it was a tool that allowed him to write down points and that the software developed the sentences for him. This, I would say, is the downfall of writing a book. Your book should be an extension of yourself, your mind, your heart, your emotions. So when you begin writing, either go to the old school way and put your pen to paper, or take a more popular route of the day and type it out on your laptop or on your computer. Now there may be times when inspiration strikes when you cannot write or type. Maybe you're out somewhere or you're driving or in the park. So when something like that happens, I quickly fish out my mobile and record my thoughts via the speech recorder. And when I get back to my manuscript again, I replay my thoughts and refine them into words. It is common knowledge that when writing a book, you always keep a skeletal structure ready, which means you have your plot in place. But as you start building around it, there may be times when you deviate and digress. And this is completely okay. Thoughts wander and waver at times. So when you are done with your draft, read through your manuscript chapter wise. Then create an inverted pyramid and add the main points of your chapter where it relates to your plot right at the top, and those that are not too relevant to your plot right at the bottom. This will help you remove the fluff and keep your storyline tight and interesting. But what do you do with all the fluff? Don't delete them. Keep them recorded safe in a rough document or a rough space. At times, these same words may help you move your plot further. You may have introduced new characters who may not have added any value or sense in an early chapter, but they could probably move your plot forward and develop your scenes at a later chapter. So, all that you write, keep it safe because you never know when it can come to use. May not be in this book probably, but it may help you in a sequel. Writing is an art. At times, you may feel so terribly inspired that you may pen a couple of chapters at a shot, and then there may be lull phases when you just can't get a word out of your head and onto the paper. But if you are a serious writer, then you will also understand that writing book is an enormous responsibility. To ensure you get this right, break down your book writing into manageable timelines and adhere to them as strictly as you can. Set a deadline. Say in week 1, I will concretize the plot, structure, and the main characters. In week 2, I will finish the early chapters and begin building the plot. In week 3, I must begin the conclusion. And by the end of week 4, I should have the first draft ready to share with my team for feedback. If you are thinking of writing a book, then I hope you overcome these hurdles and begin writing your masterpiece. If you are looking for any form of writing support, do feel free to contact Spark Igniting Minds on sparking.biz@gmail.com and the team will be happy to mentor you.